Framed out and insulated my van, all without prior experience. Let's see how I did it. That's what we gotta remove.
That says MAT.
No, what? No, if you want a biscuit? Come here. You want a biscuit?
That's what happens after you have to cut plywood.
It appears I was a little off on this side, but you know, it's okay.
Lately, my dad is into crack.
It's very livable, to be honest.
Alright, that's what we gotta remove.
That says MAT.
Jeffrey. Before we start adding horizontal pieces to the van, there's this metal piece chunk that the last owner left when he mounted some cabinets, so we gotta take that off. Look at Jeff here, he's all dripped out in his ski goggles and his Timberlands. We basically just bought this attachment that goes straight into our angle grinder to slowly cut the metal, and as you can see, plenty of sparks were flying. Definitely a bit scary, but Jeff was having a good time.
You wanna put on pants, bro?
No, what? No, if you want a biscuit? Come here. You want a biscuit? Come. Get up.
Huh?
No? No biscuit.
That's what happens after you have to cut plywood. And we got more to go. That was Jeff's dog, Rover. His dog and my dog are actually really good friends. I'll try to get some footage of them playing sometime. But now that the van is ready to frame out, you'll see that we're just cutting a bunch of wood. There's plenty of cutting to be done, and these are called furring strips, which is basically just supports that will be attached to the van. These strips are about 2 and 3 inches thick. You'll see me measure a lot of times using the right angle tool to make sure that my cuts are straight, since I don't have a fancy saw or anything like that. That will do it for me.
All right, Jeffrey, what are we doing right now?
We're using this pocket hole jig for the strapping of the van.
It creates holes so you can connect things vertically like this, no problem. And it comes with this like vacuum thing too, so no dust.
Yeah.
All right, do it. Do the thing, Jeffrey.
Do the thing.
All right, show the viewers what we just created. Boom, a perfect hole. And that's what we're gonna do to frame.
Here I am, putting in the horizontal slats onto the van. The only important precautions here, I would say, is to mark out where you can or can't drill so you know where to go. And then you just gotta clamp down the piece so it fits exactly where you want it to when you do drill it in. The wood here was cut out of 1/2 inch thick plywood, and these horizontal ones are 2 inches wide, and the vertical ones you'll see are 3 inches wide. Just did that to make sure that everything is flush in the van.
So we are installing the framing. We are using wood glue and the Craig screws. So first, let's put some wood glue on the top where we will have contact. We'll also have contact right next to the bolt right here. So apparently wood glue is like just some OP stuff, so probably don't even need to do this, but do this. It appears I was a little off on this side, but you know, it's okay. The pocket hole jig basically makes it so that it still goes straight into this piece, which is very convenient for us.
The bit attachment you're seeing me use actually came with the Craig pocket hole jig set, and basically it's just a longer version. And because it's long, it really helps with the angle that you put the screw in, so it's really nice and straight when it goes into the connecting piece. Alright, we are back with good quality footage again because I got my lens, my nice lens on, so let's really hope it doesn't break. Alright, we're just cutting some more pieces for the framing. Framing takes a while. So in cutting these strips, I actually went back and forth from the van to get the exact measurements between the horizontal strips that you saw me put up earlier. So I did all the cutting in sections. It was pretty tedious, but it had to be done since I have to make sure that all the pieces are nice and flush and custom fit.
Alright, we just finished chopping up some wood for the frame. Now let's let me show you what my next step was. Yeah, lately my dad is into cracks. So yeah, he's just fixing cracks in our driveway, so I can't step on these. He's even got tape. Don't step on crack. Show you, I just cut up all those pieces of wood, and I have now labeled them. For example, number 1, and there's an X there because there's a bolt, so I can't drill there. But yep, I labeled that 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So I'll put those in after I drill all those pocket hole jigs that me and Jeff were doing earlier. So let's get to that, and the frame will look a lot better after. Alright friends, let me know if this angle is cool or not, and watch me put some holes into the wood.
So the drill bit you'll see me use actually comes with the pocket hole jig as well, but as you can see, the first few times I didn't screw it tight enough and the bit got stuck in the hole. No biggie. I gotta say though, this is definitely one of my favorite tools. I think it's gonna make building everything else much easier. So shout out Craig.
Alright peoples, I just finished up putting in the bottom framing. It's all done, and I started working on the electric box, so let me show you what that looks like. Alright, so all of the bottom has now been supported, including the bed frame. So before, this used to kind of like wobble out, now it's like really sturdy, it won't move. And I added all these just for strength purposes. And where there were gaps, I just drenched in wood glue just so it stays good. And new project, electric box. So my insulation actually came in today, but I will have to put the insulate behind it before I install this box. So it will go in then, but it's almost done. And then we have to start an electrical. Yeesh. Current state of the van. The frame is up. We are inside because it is really hot. So we are installing the insulation today. This is 3M Insulate. It's actually very soft. It feels just like a blanket, and it's easy to install. Reddit says it's the best option you got. It's just the only thing is that it's expensive. Otherwise, it doesn't really have any cons. So had to do it. And I already took some measurements earlier in the van for the panels that I'm gonna put these in. So I'm gonna kind of.
I actually ordered heavy duty shears to cut these insulate, but the Amazon delivery guy was late that day, so I had to make do with some normal scissors that I eventually broke and went to kitchen scissors. Oh well, but same process here. I just went back and forth from the van, taking measurements of the cavities, and I cut them out, put them in the van.
I may have underestimated the size of this roll. Just look how big it is. It's harder to work with than I imagined, but I can still freehand some of it, so it's okay.
So just lots of cutting here. You'll see me use the level to measure it, and then for some pieces they're actually rounded out. So I rounded out the corners, nothing too crazy.
Supposed to be sticky to the knuckle, say. That is indeed.
After spraying on the adhesive, all that was left was to make sure it was sticky. It says to put your knuckle on it, and it should be sticky, and it was. And all that's left was to put on the insulate on, and the only tricky part here was to make sure that I placed the insulate on the edges first, so that the middle part doesn't get stuck where it's not supposed to be.
It's very livable, to be honest.
I don't know about that.
You wouldn't even pack a sleeping bag.
I mean, yeah, you could.
That was my friend just telling me that it was already livable. And he's not wrong. Maybe I'll pack up a sleeping bag and sleep on the driveway one time.
Okay, so I went ahead and did a lot of the stuff, the installation off camera, just because there was a lot of snipping. Even my hands are sore now, but I have the last set here. I'm gonna put it up and then we should be good on installation for now. Yeah, music, cue.
Here's the last section of spraying. Note to self here, should definitely put on a mask whenever spraying something upwards. But here I just held my breath for my dear life and for a long time. And it worked.
Now the van stays pretty cool during the day with all this protection, hopefully. Whew. Yeah, after this, it's electrical, but I have to go to Hong Kong first for 2 weeks, so I'll be on pause. I'll be thinking about it plenty. This will be short end. This is too tall right now, but yeah, cut it down like 3 inches, stick it on, get a piece of plywood to cover that area, and then I gotta plan out the electrical, drill some holes into the box, and then after that I can start building out everything else. So alright, that's it for now. See you guys in the next one.